The 2024 real estate market is dead and buried. I'm going to tell you all about it starting right now. Yeah, 2024 is gone. Happy New Year, everybody. We're into 2025. Here's a quick review of 2024, and of course, I'll give you the December numbers as well. As I've said in every single video and blog post I've done in 2024, the year was slow, plain and simple. Now, looking at our December numbers, I'm going to tell you that things were relatively busy for December, but not crazily so. Prices, for the most part, have been more or less flat, aside from, a trading range we see in the spring market where prices are higher and then low points during the rest of the year. Starting with detached, we were right under $900,000. We have, give or take, 2.6 months worth of inventory, so that's almost into neutral market territory. As far as number of listings goes, third highest number of listings in the last 10 years. So that kind of gives you an indicator of, there's actually a fair bit of stuff for sale in December for detached across Waterloo Region. Now, moving on to semis. Semis is an odd segment in Waterloo Region as a whole. They just don't build that many of those properties compared to, say, townhouses or detached. Now, semis came in right around $645,000. We had 2 months straight of inventory, so definitely still in seller's market territory. And that number of listings was the highest we've had in 10 years. It was the same thing for townhouses. Townhouses were also at a 10-year high as far as number of listings. And that gave us 4.5 months worth of inventory. So we're in neutral market territory for neutral or balanced rather for the townhouse segment. Prices were, if I didn't mention them already, we were just under $630,000. Now moving on to apartment style condos for December. We came in right at $476,000. That was up, I think, $25K compared to November. But in this case, we're looking at, again, the highest number of listings we've had in 10 years. But in this case, we're looking at almost 8 months worth of inventory. So we're absolutely solidly in buyer category, unlike the other three categories I just mentioned. Now, talking about how prices are overall for 2024, I'm going to say we're slightly below where we were on average for 2023 and a little bit higher than where we were for the 2021 average. I'm not really surprised by this. I mean, we had that big blip upwards in prices in late 2021 into 2022 until the Bank of Canada stepped in and jacked rates up. That certainly took the steam out of the marketplace, and we're back, as I say, to give or take high 2021 values. Now, talking about those rates. We were at 5% in the summer. We had 5 rate decreases in a row. We're at 3.25 right now for the overnight rate. If you look at my website on my mortgage page, you can get a 5-year fix for low 4s. And that is certainly way, way better than it was, 6 months ago or a year ago. Definitely a relief for buyers. Now, what's really surprising about all this isn't really translated into any kind of huge bump in sales volume or in prices. And I think that's really indicative of the fact that people's pocketbooks are tight. I mean, yes, we have got inflation under control, but to a degree I go, so what? I mean, prices didn't come back down. They're still really, really high. They just aren't going up like crazy like they were earlier. So yes, good on the Bank of Canada for getting it under control, but I mean, the relief isn't there as far as affordability for basically any kinds of goods and services you want to go out and buy, and of course, real estate. Now, talking about that going into the spring market, I've looked at the January numbers. They're a little bit down in every segment except for townhouses, which was actually up by, I think, $20,000. Apartment style condos, they took a big hit though. I mean, a big, big hit compared to December. And I think this is really indicative of the fact that people are leaving that segment as far as investors goes. Now, I had a client of mine buy an apartment style condo. It's in a 2-story walk-up, but she picked it up for under $400,000 for a two bedroom. So, I mean, if you're looking to get into that market and you're a first-time buyer, there's definitely opportunity out there for getting yourself in. But I think the investment community has kind of bailed on that. I was reading in the news the other day, we're at a 28-year low for interest in these pre-con condos across, I don't know if it was the country or if it was Ontario, but one of my colleagues, Tom Story, Toronto guy, he follows the Toronto condo market, and he's been mirroring the same thing I've been saying, like that segment. It's not doing well as far as investors. And I mean, the numbers don't make sense. If you can't get the rents you need to pay your mortgage, why would you invest your money? I think that's all we're seeing with that. Anyways, going forward, I expect we're going to have, busy spring in the sense that the spring market is always busier than the dead of winter, but I don't think it's going to be crazy at all. I think people are being cautious and have been really cautious for the last year. No surprise there. And with Donald Trump being elected and taking office just the other day, that just puts another wrinkle in the scheme of things, and nobody really knows what's going to happen. People, of course, will still buy and sell, but yeah, people are cautious. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Thanks so much for watching, and have yourself a fantastic day.